Welcome back. We're moving along, so time to start framing this cabin. The weather has been absolutely terrible. It's literally been raining for a week straight. I'm finally catching a break, but I mean, this is real life. I'm not going to, curate some perfect weather footage to make it look like it's all, sunshine and rainbows to build this cabin. The reality is that construction work is not always rosy because you're outdoor and you're just really going to be having to deal with the elements. It's as simple as that, but that's kind of part of the challenge. Let's go over the materials. We will need to get this done. So obviously all that wood is pressure treated. So I have 6x6 posts. I have my 2x12 main girder. I have my 2x10 for my floor joist. I have a bunch of plywood sheathing for the subfloor. I also have insulation, as well as a lot of fasteners and miscellaneous. So I got some galvanized carriage bolt, some washers and nuts, obviously, some GRK screws, some Simpson SDWC fully threaded screws, some Simpson H2.5A hurricane ties, some number 10 and number 8 galvanized nails, some galvanized Metabo framing nails from my framing nailer, some subfloor screws, some subfloor glue, some Simpson insulation support, some expensive foam, and some aluminum flashing to put on top of the piers. Okay, that must be pretty overwhelming. You probably don't even know what most of those things were, but it's okay. I won't just wanted to list it first, but obviously I'm gonna explain every one of those items when I get to using them to build the framing, and I will explain exactly what I'm using them for, so don't stress out. So let me update the money counter. So now that you have a better understanding of what I got, what I just listed was about $3,600, so which brings the total amount so far to $4,875. So now I'm ready to start moving my materials up the hill again. And once again, all I have to work with is my, my little dolly. I don't have anything else to really move materials, so. I really thought that after moving all that concrete, I would be kind of done with struggling to move stuff, and that wood would be so much lighter. But yeah, that's completely wrong. This pressure treated wood is really heavy. Is that even going to work? This is so wide, I don't know. Whoa. This is terrible. You know what? I missed the concrete bags. Yeah, looks like it's gonna be one at a time on my shoulder. Ah, got a splinter. Well, this is gonna be a lot of fun. How am I supposed to build this cabin if I can't even get the materials where it's supposed to be? Oh. Oh. I'm done for. I'm ready to take a nap. So this was my final line. I'm ready, it's dry, so I'm ready to remove what's holding the anchor bolt and the strap. You might be wondering, I have two of them where I have only one strap. It's because, well, apparently I don't know how to count, and I ordered 22 straps instead of 24. So anyway, just removing this. Voila. And then you can go ahead and pretty much cut this off. And mine is really easy to remove because it's been rained on and everything is so wet. But anyway, just remove the top part. I think whatever's below the ground will eventually just go away on its own over time. Here is today's plan. I'm gonna try and set up the first row of posts on those 3 piers that you see here. We're at the back of the cabin, so you're looking really at the rear. I want to try and see if I can set up my post and set up my girder on top of it and have everything level. That is today's goal. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it exactly, but it's going to be a lot of trial and error, I'm presuming. So before we move ahead, I wanted to make it very clear that everything I'm using for the lower level needs to be either pressure treated for the wood, or anything that's metal needs to be galvanized, meaning that it's not going to rust. You know, all those base, those straps, every fastener, the screws, the nails, everything needs to be galvanized. So another thing I'm going to be doing is, which I don't know if it's necessary in this, here in this region, but I'm going to add some aluminum flashing on top of the pier below the cap. You know, kind of like what you usually do as what they call a termite shield. Yeah. So it's really just to block anything from like crawling up the pier and you know, getting on the post and eating it out. Well, wasn't expecting that. This thing is only 10 inches, so I'm gonna put two pieces, I think, on top of each other, and I'm gonna have them overlap at least 2 inches on each side, so I'll have to be 14. Where am I bleeding from? Oh, here. Cool. All right, let's get gloves. I'm really kind of winging it, to be honest. Yeah, it's not too bad. Kind of cutting everything that's sticking out because I want it to be as flat as possible. Doesn't look great, but it will work. And then this on top of it. So we're in the garage. I picked up one of the 6x6 posts, which, by the way, is tremendously heavy, especially because it's probably full of water with all the rain we've got and all the humidity in the air. We're looking to get 18 inches for that first post. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that. To check that the post is level, you can get those post level, I think that's what it's called. And see, the good thing is that you put it on your post and you will have all sorts of level on each side to check your levelness. Huh, what the hell is this? A 6x6 is theoretically 5.5 inch by 5.5 inch, which is exactly what you need it to be so that it fits nicely in between that space. But reality is a whole lot different. Those posts, and most of them that I've checked, they're literally more like 5.75, and most of them are not even like perfectly square. I'm guessing maybe that's because they still need to dry out. That might be a reason why they're like a little bit bigger than 5.5. But no matter what, I think I'm gonna have to like get them a little skinnier on both sides. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut 1/8 of an inch, shave it on each side like this. I only need to do it for this much, which is, let's call it 2.5 inch, and then I'm done. And do the same thing on the other side. Much better. So now, let's hope that I can still put the nut on. Ah, yes. So that's great. I was really worried that I would mess up with the thread by cutting it. That's too high, so I need to like raise this. There you go. So I'm just gonna have to shim it maybe a little bit. Okay, so as of right now, I am trying to level the base here, and I tried with this, but this is too thin. So I did get some plate metal from Lowe's, and that's what I'm gonna use, because probably this is equal to maybe 3 or 4 layers of this. So we're gonna get rid of that for now, and we're gonna try it with this. Yeah, this is better. So now I really want to caulk everything in place. Something like that. I don't know. I feel like it will just hold. It will help holding it down. So I mean, we're really good here. And then if I show you this other side, this is also very good. I cannot nail it just yet because, you know, you see that I've done some cuts to the wood, and it would be actually pretty bad practice to have a pressure treated 6x6 or any kind of wood framing that's pressure treated, to cut it and leave it that way. Because when those are treated, the treatment doesn't go all the way to the core of the wood. So if you cut it, you might expose the center fiber. So for that reason, you can get this. I will use this to treat any area that I cut off. So I'm now ready to mock up my post, where I'm gonna have to cut a big notch for the main girder. So the main girder is a 32x12, meaning that it's 11.25 deep. And so that's what I'm going to mock up here. I'm gonna do 11.5. My cut is gonna go like this, and then like this, which is going to be pretty challenging to do anyway. And my width here is 3 ply, and so that is going to be 4.5. So here. We are getting rid of all this. So cutting a 6x6 is not going to be a piece of cake, because I don't have any sort of saw or anything that is deep enough to just go through this. So you're gonna have to bear with me and see what we can figure out. Okay. Okay, so I've done as much as I can possibly can with that circular saw. Now we're gonna see if we can finish it with this. Ha ha! Here it is. You'll have 3 plies of beam sitting here, and then we'll just, I don't remember if we'll screw them or bolt them through this piece as well. So that's what I was telling you. This spot here is probably not treated, neither is this. So I'm sure you can be very generous with it. I mean, honestly, I might as well just cover this whole piece. We're ready to start working on the other post, the next one, while this all dries up. So we're gonna have to stop here for today. I mean, this video is already gonna be long enough, so make sure to click here to see the next episode, which is gonna be the direct continuation of this episode, and see if I actually finally managed to figure out how to put this framing together.